Hello everyone. Today we're going to be replacing a rack and pinion steering on a 2008 Audi Q7. So stay tuned and watch the progress. Well, we have the car already jacked up, the jack stands. So this is what we have over here. I like to put the tire right there, just extra safety precaution. And this is what we're doing. We're removing the rack and pinion from there. We're also gonna have to remove those two lines right there, this one and that one right behind there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right next to each other, and it's those are 17 millimeter nuts that you have to remove. Also, there's a 10 millimeter just in order for this thing to come out of there. Up there, it's kind of hard to see, but there's another bolt that it's holding the actual column attached to the rack and pinion, and I think that's a 16 or 17. You might be able to see it right there, right up there. But yeah, that's another one that we're gonna have to remove. Also, you have one bolt right over there. That's 18 millimeter. And right here, that's another one. That's another 18 millimeter. Loosen up that bolt right there. That's for the subframe. Not remove it completely, just loosen it up so the subframe can come down. So it's gonna be that one right there. That's a 21 millimeter. On that other side over there where the jack stand is, there's another one there. And at the front right here, there's one there and one on the opposite side. You don't have to remove it completely, just loosen it up, and the subframe will come down enough so you have more access to that bolt that I'm telling you up there. So once the subframe comes down a little bit, then you have better access for that bolt. I forgot to mention, I like to remove these bolts over here too. You don't need to do that. I just do it because you get an extra 1 inch or two of visibility down here. So I'm just gonna remove it. It's just 2 bolts and it'll be out of the way. I'm gonna start by removing this 10 millimeter. Get it out of the way. Now I'm gonna loosen up the 17s. It's pretty loose. So and you might want to put something on the ground because it's going to drip. So let me go ahead and do that now. Yep. See. Whoop. Got drip. So that's one. Now we can move it out of the way. See, it's completely out now. Just move it out of the way. Let me see. It's out of the way. And And while that is dripping right there, I think I'm gonna remove this nut right here. I'm just gonna loosen it up and turn this. I think I'm just gonna leave this part over here. So I'm just gonna leave this here and then adjust it the same as this one. Count the same threads and everything. Check the length. Even though I have to do an alignment after this, but just so it could be a little bit straight before I get it to the alignment shop. So that's what I'm gonna be doing now. So loosen this up. So just loosen it up a little bit and then turn this right here, which is a 15 millimeter. So I'll do that until this thing comes off. So. Alright, that's completely off. I didn't move this knot too much, just maybe like not even quarter turn, nothing. Just barely loosen it up and then turn this part, and then now it's completely off. Moving on to the other side, to the passenger side, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. And then take your 15 millimeter, start turning it until you get it completely off. Oops. There you go. And moving on to the bottom of the car, underneath the car, gonna remove the 18 millimeter bolt, this one and this one on this side, but these bolts, they have a nut on the opposite side of the bolt, so I'm just gonna hold it with this 18 millimeter. It's a 18 millimeter wrench. You can hold it up here, and I'm gonna use my impact wrench to remove it. And now it's completely off. As you can see, 18. Now I'm holding it on this other bolt. I'm holding it also with the 18 millimeter on the top. And it's out. Alright, so you can see now this is loose. So now all we have to do is come down here and loosen up that bolt right there, and the opposite side also. That's for the subframe. That's enough right there. Now that we lower the subframe just a little bit, not too much, we were able to see that bolt right there. That's what we're going for. Come from back here, and I can put my hand through there and just try to loosen it up. So this is a 16. So just through here, like that. It's out. So now we have to pry this thing upwards like that, so we can remove this whole thing out of the way. Took me a little while to get it out. One thing I had to do, these two hoses right here, they have two bolts that are holding a bracket for this hose. I had to remove those two bolts in order to move this thing around, and that way I was able to get the rack and pinion out. Because if you don't remove that bracket with those two bolts, there's no way you'll be able to do it. I tried different ways and different methods, but that was the easiest way. After I removed that bracket with those two bolts, I'll show you what type of bolts they are and where they're located. After I removed those, then I was able to get the rack and pinion down this way, push it that way, and then was able to bring it down. Sorry. These are the bolts that were holding the bracket, and they're two triple square bolts, which I had to remove it with this, which is let's see, it's a 8mm. It's a 8mm triple square, and the bracket, it's up in there. Let me see if I can get the camera there. Let's see. Yeah, so those are the two hoses, and then it has two bolts attached to that bracket. And then after you remove that bracket, those they go on that. You see that shiny part on the right hand side? That's where one of the bolt goes, and then one on top to the left side of the left hose. Move those hoses out of the way, and I was able to get the rack and pinion out. I have the new rack and pinion already installed. Putting that hose on right now, so it's just a 17. Get that one on first, then we're gonna get the other one, which is this one. After this one's already tight, and we're gonna put that one on, and the 10mm bolt that goes there. All these things are going back in place pretty easy. Just have to remember everything you remove, you gotta put it back same way, and then make sure you don't have leftover bolts. But yeah, that one's on, the two hoses are on. Now I have to put the two long bolts that go from the bottom. So I have to put those two long bolts, one here, one over there, the nut that goes on top of that. Then I'm gonna move back over here, back in there, let's see, yeah, like somewhere back over there, to get the two hoses, the brackets back on, and continue with that. So this one right here, and then there's gonna be another one right up there. So right now I'm reconnecting the rack and pinion shaft. So that goes in like that. And I have to put that 16mm bolt 16. 16mm. Make it really tight. But that's where it is. Now I'm reattaching my my tie rods. So, making sure straight. Don't cross thread it. And do the same thing on the passenger side. Until you hit the end of this right here. Alright, so you can see it's completely done. Everything is connected. Everything's back in its place. Everything's tight. So now all I have to do is put the power steering fluid on, turn on the car, and see if this was successful. And it was a success. Everything seems to be fine. Nothing's leaking. Everything's good. I just need to clean that up with spray to make it nice. But yeah, the car's working perfectly. No bubbles, nothing. When I turn the steering wheel left or right, I don't hear any noises. So everything's good. All I have to do now is just put the tires back on. And let's go to the right, go to the left, and good. Everything's good. Rack and pinion right here, which I was trying to see what was the reason why it was leaking, but it looked like it had some seals go bad and it was rusted out, so it was leaking through there. And once these things start leaking like that, it's kind of hard to rebuild because the shaft right here gets all scratched up or full of rust, and even if you get a rebuild kit for it, it's not gonna work. So best thing to do is just get a replacement one and just keep it. Thank you for watching, everyone, and as usual, if you have any questions or comments, just hit that comment section below. I try to answer as many comments as possible. Thank you for watching my videos, and if you have not subscribed, please like and subscribe so I can keep growing and make more videos like this. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.